Okay, hello guys. We are going to now talk about section 2.3. This is section 2.3 notes, which we're going to be talking about special situations where our solutions are going to end up being either no solution or infinite solutions. And I will say this a lot of times, infinitely many solutions is what I will say. I'm going to add this as infinitely many solutions is what I will say. Infinitely many solutions. I'll write as IMS, and then no solution, which can also be, IMS can also be the infinity symbol. And no solution, NS, or the circle with the line drawn through it is the empty set symbol. All right, so here we go. So let's look at see what that is meaning. So I'm going to work. I've got to distribute. So I have negative 8x, negative 4 times 1. That's going to give me negative 4 equals negative 8x minus 2. And I continue to solve. I got to get all the variables on the one side. And when I do this, I'm going to start to notice, okay, if I'm going to add 8x to both sides, what happens here is both of these equal 0, which means both of them cancel out. So I'm now left with negative 4 equals negative 2. This is a false statement. This is a false statement. That means there is no possible number that could work as a solution to the equation. Since it's a false statement, my answer is no solution. Which can also be written as NS or the empty set symbol. Either one of those is correct. All right. Next example, when we have infinitely many solutions. So, okay, no combining. I've got to distribute here. So 3 times 1, so I'm going to rewrite everything else. Negative 5 minus 9x equals 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times negative 3 is going to be a negative 9x. I don't distribute here, I just bring this down. So we have the minus 8. So my next step here is I've got to simplify this side. I've got to combine my like terms. So I'm adding these two together. So I'm going to bring everything down. So I have negative 5 minus 9x equals 8 minus 3. That's going to give me a negative 5 minus 9x. If you notice something right here, they're the exact same at this point. We're going to keep going and see what we end up with. So I'm going to move my variables. So I'm going to add 9x to both sides. These zero out. Bring down what's left, and I'm left with negative 5 equals negative 5. This is a true statement. Since it is a true statement, then that means every number could work as a solution. So if it's a true statement, that means it is IMS, or infinite solutions, which is also the infinity symbol. So all of these are appropriate answers. Remember, if it's a false statement, it's no possible number. If it's a true statement, it's every number. All right, here we go. So let's work a couple of examples here. All right, looking at number 1. Let's distribute and work through. So 3 times 2x, that's going to give me 6x. 3 times 2, so that's plus 6 minus 3x equals 6 plus 3x. All right, now I've got to combine my like terms. So that's going to give me 3x plus 6 equals 6 plus 3x. Continue solving, so I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. These zero out, and I'm left with 6 equals 6. This is true, so therefore my answer is infinity symbol or IMS. Next example. Here we go. So we're working through 6 times 2 is 12x. 6 times 6, that's going to give me a negative 36 because that's a negative 6 equals, now I'm doing negative 7 times negative 2, so that's a 14x. Negative 7 times a positive 4, so that's going to give me a negative 28. And now we simplify, so I'm going to subtract 14x from both sides. I like to work to where the variable's on the left, not necessarily where it's always positive. So now we end up with a negative 2x minus 36 equals a negative 28. Add 36 to both sides. This zeroes out. We bring this down and we have negative 2x equals negative 28 plus 36. They're doing battle. So that means I'm going to end up with a positive 8. Divide by negative 2 to both sides because I'm multiplying by negative 2 here, and we end up with x equals negative 4. This is a one solution. We have three options: one solution, no solution, infinite solutions. Those are our options for our types of solutions that we have. Okay, number 3. Distribute, so 8 times 5x is going to give me 40x. 8 times negative 3, that's going to give me a negative 24. Now I'm equals 6 times negative 3x, that's a negative 18x. 6 times negative 4, that's going to give me a negative 24. And now we start to maneuver our numbers around. So I'm going to add 18x to both sides. This zeroes out, and now I have 58x equals, not equals yet, minus 24 equals negative 24. Okay, so now we continue. So I'm going to add 24 to both sides, add 24 to both sides. That zeroes out. This zeroes out. That doesn't mean there's not anything over there. This means that it's 58x equals 0. That's okay. This can happen. Divide by 58. This cancels, and we have that x equals 0. And last but not least, here we go. This is all the same, so I'm just rewriting this. 3x minus 13 equals, and now I have to distribute to the 7. 7x, 7 times 2, that's a positive 14. This is a negative 4. I notice that sometimes you're making the mistake of remembering it's a negative that you're distributing. So I'm doing a negative 4 times x, that's going to give me a negative 4x. And then this is a negative 7. So I'm doing a negative 4 times a negative 7. That gives me a positive 28. And now we have to combine like terms over here. So I'm going to circle my variables. And I'm going to box my constants. So we're not bringing everything else down. So I'm going to have 3x minus 13 equals 7x minus 4x. That's 3x. 14 plus 28. That's going to give me a positive 42. And now we start to solve. So I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. Both of these cancel out. My variables go away, and I'm left with negative 13 equals 42. This is a false statement. Since it's a false statement, then this is going to be no solution, or the empty set symbol. This is your answer. Your assignment: is to finish the back. Obviously, there is no room to work on this page, so all work is done on a separate sheet of paper. You are to complete all of them. This is not done with partner. Not done with partner. Have a great day.